Hi there, it's Cooking with Kenny G. Now in today's video, we are going to be making this absolutely incredible jalapeno cheese cornbread. Now this is not your run-of-the-mill cornbread. This one is killer and it will go great with a bunch of different recipes too. Now make sure you stick around to the end of the video and I'm going to show you a little presentation on this, and there will be some links too for other videos that I've done that this will go fantastic with. So let's get on with it. On this channel, I want to help you level up your cooking game with tutorials, videos, pro tips, and just help you cook in general. We're going to save you some money, going to make your time in the kitchen more fun and enjoyable, and impress you and your guests with all the new skills that you've learned. To be honest with you, we all got to eat. If you're new to the channel, make sure to take your spatula, smash that subscribe button. Well, maybe just click on it. You don't want to break your computer. Check for any links that are mentioned in the description box down below. The link below will give you a printable PDF recipe that you can start your own Top Hitters cookbook. Don't forget to leave some comments or any questions that I can help you out with. So let's put on the apron, grab the knives, fire up the stove, get after it. Now, like with every recipe, it's best to get all your ingredients together first. Less mess, less stress. You don't have to be reaching around grabbing stuff while you're making a recipe. So just go through the recipe, get all your ingredients together, and then start cooking. Well, actually start baking. This is a baking recipe. So let's get going. So first thing that you want to do, preheat the oven to 325 degrees to get you started. Now while the oven is preheating, you can get all your utensils together. You need a 9.5 by 5.5 pan. This one's a Nordic ware pan. You got some measuring cups, measuring spoons if you're going to go that route. I like to use a scale. Now I'm not going to recommend a certain kind to get, but just a digital scale is great. Now usually when I'm baking though, I like to use a scale because everything is completely accurate all the time. I find sometimes if I'm using measuring cups and spoons, it can get a little bit inaccurate. Rubber spatula, you're going to need a knife. A little bit of shopping in this recipe, not much at all, just the cilantro and the jalapenos. My always handy pastry scraper. You need a couple of bowls, one for the wet, one for the dry. Ridiculous blue gloves for taking hot stuff out of the oven if you want, maybe a rag for wiping up or keeping things clean and tidy. And a couple of small bowls. You can use ceramic bowls or whatever you want that are small, just for measuring out all the other ingredients that are going into it. So not a whole lot of stuff. Okay, I've got all the dry ingredients measured out. Now I probably don't need to videotape that. I think you know how to measure things out. I've got 160 grams of all-purpose flour, or 1 cup plus 1 tablespoon. I've got 160 grams of cornmeal, which is 1 cup. I've got my other dry ingredients. I have 20 grams of sugar, or 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon. I've got 10 grams of baking powder, or 2 teaspoons. Then I got 5 grams of salt, or 1 teaspoon. So that's some dry ingredients there. I'm gonna put those all into a bowl and mix them up. And then get on to the wet ingredients. Now on to the wet ingredients. I have 1 cup of whole milk, as they call it down south, or north of the border as we are, we call this 3.25% milk. That's the milk fat that's in it. 1 egg into the milk mixture, and then just mix that up. And then we'll mix the wet with the dry, and then the other good ingredients, and then we're gonna put it in the pan, throw it in the oven, and 1 hour later, we should be good to go. Now, the extra ingredients are gonna take this cornbread over the top, so it's not gonna be your neighbor's plain old cornbread. This is gonna be your extra special jalapeno cheese cornbread. I've got half a bunch of chopped cilantro, and I've got the chopped jalapeno peppers. I'll show you how to do that. Now I got half a bunch of cilantro here. When you're chopping, again, knife skill tips. Hold down the tip of my knife on the cutting board, and then just rock the knife through, back and forth. That way you're not gonna slip or cut your finger while you're doing it. Again, don't look up while you're doing it. Watch what you're doing. And then I've got 1 ounce by weight, that is, of jalapenos. These are just the cooked and sliced jalapenos. You can just give them a rough chop, or 30 grams metric. I've got the niblet corn here, thawed out of course. And then I've got the shredded Monterey cheddar cheese mix that's gonna go into it. And you're also gonna need 80 mils of melted butter, about 3.5 tablespoons. Plus 1 extra tablespoon of melted butter for just brushing on the very top of it before it goes in the oven. I'll show you that tip and I'll tell you why. Gonna get the pan ready. So I'm gonna spray it, dust it with a little bit of flour. Little pan spray in there, make sure you get all the edges. Just grab some flour, place it in there. There you go. Just shake it around a little bit, make sure it gets to all those spots. Now this is just going to help the cornbread while it's baking. Won't stick to the edges. Get rid of that excess there. I don't want to put it back in with my other flour. Here are my dry ingredients here. Now I'm just going to mix this in a bowl by hand. I'm not going to put it on the mixer. It's just a small batch. And I'm going to add the wet into the dry. Just fold that in. Looking beautiful. Give it a little bit of stir. You don't have to worry too much about over mixing this because it's 50% cornmeal and 50% flour, so you're not going to develop a ton of gluten in it. Let's put in the cheese. Now this is 3 ounces of marble cheese. Again, you can use whatever kind of cheese you want, but maybe something that's not overly strong. I'm going to add my corn niblets in there. Now this is 1 cup approximately. These are thawed out too, or 100 grams. It's called 100 grams Canadian. Now my friends over in Europe will say, wait a second, we started the metric system, not you Canadians. All right, and then I'm going to put in the cilantro and the jalapenos. Again, remember, I am going to put the recipe in the description box down below. Now, melted butter. This gets folded in last. Now a little bit of a tip. I heated that up in the microwave. Make sure you cover it though. That was about 30 seconds in my microwave. But if you heat it up too much, it's gonna bubble over and make a mess in your microwave. Now this is 80 mils of melted butter, or about 3.5 tablespoons. I'm just gonna fold that butter in there now. That is looking beautiful. Wet, dry, fold in the butter. Looking gorgeous. Put it in the pan. Now we're gonna put that in a 325 oven for about an hour. I'm gonna check it after an hour with the skewer. I'll show you how that's done, just to make sure it's baked, because it's quite moist. Just sort of flatten that out a little bit. Now remember I said you needed 1 tablespoon of melted butter extra, and I've got these great little silicone brushes. You can get them from Amazon. I'll put the link down below though. So just take the melted butter, brush it over the top of the cornbread, and then fire it in the oven. It'll make it nice and golden brown as it bakes. All right, she's ready to go in the 325 oven for 1 hour, and then we'll check it. I won't see you in an hour, but it's gonna be an hour when I see you next time. So let's get her in there. Okay, it's an hour. I'm gonna take the cornbread out. Don't forget your gloves. Don't wanna burn yourself. Then I'm gonna give it a check with the skewer. Looking beautiful. Just take the skewer, press it down into the middle, pull it out, see if it comes out clear. She's looking good. Ready to go. Now I'm just gonna let this cool. I've got a rack out here. Just let it cool in the pan on a rack. Then you can flip it out 10-15 minutes or so. Now I've let the cornbread cool for about 15 minutes. Waiting to get into it. Just gonna give it a little slice. Then I'm gonna put on some taco butter that I made. So it's just about half a teaspoon of taco spice into some salted butter. Very easy. I don't know if you need a recipe for that, but the taco spice I do make myself. So let's give this a little slice. Spread the butter on there and give it a shot. Well, we made it through another recipe. Thanks so much for watching. Now don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed our time together and learned something on your way to flavored country. Now enjoy that cornbread.